Hello everyone and welcome to the start of my creative channel. I decided in 2022 to open up my own online store and sell my beautiful creations worldwide. Before I get into what I sell online, I wanted to show you my creative space where I design my artwork and creations. Okay, so apart from the bad lighting, this is what my art studio looks like. I have a cute little printer with photo printer paper that I usually get, and that's how I usually create all my digital prints. It is an HP DeskJet Ink Advantage 3635. It is pretty old and definitely needs an upgrade, but it has done me pretty well up until now. Then I just have a little area where I can keep all of my memorabilia, photos of my horses, my old cat Misty, and then at the top I've got a suitcase full of all different types of art stuff. I am currently obsessed with very craft paper rustic journals. These guys I found at P&A and it's all these different animals. I was quite obsessed with them, so I use notebooks a lot in my planning at work even, and also ideas for my business. Then next to that is a drawing guide about landscapes and how to paint landscapes, how to draw them, perspectives. And perspective is very, very important when you're drawing, especially from the eye. So that's just a reference book that I usually like to keep around. Most of my stuff is on Kindle. Then I've got a very special file that I keep all of my mother's things that she wrote down. She was a script writer and a actress back before I was born, and her very famous show in South Africa is called Emily's Wheelbarrow Show, and this is the entire script plan. I've always wanted to change it into very badly written notes that I have to interpret. I want to change this into a book that I can later self-publish for myself, just as something to remember my mother by. Then I've got little Hedwig who overwatches me whatever I do, and all of the different horses that I have collected over the years of my childhood. Most of those horses you'll see are Brea. Then what I've got at the top is my files. So this big file is usually where I keep all of my printed artworks, things that are in my coloring books. So all the different birds that I have designed over the couple of months, including all the horsey designs, trying out all these different tools that I've purchased, like different watercolors and things on these papers. I also like to experiment with different brands and different types of watercolor paper, whether it's like very rough, smooth, hot press, cold press, 300 grams or 250, 180. I'm obsessed with Typo's watercolor paper though. It seems to do pretty well with me. Then I got this Montmartre twistable colors. They are very, very fun, especially if you were on the go and you would like to, keep painting. You can use them as crayons or you can use them as watercolor, but I kind of keep them not necessarily all the time to use. I use them once in a while. Then I've got my Derwent bag that I use to carry with me. So if I want to go traveling, then I usually take this Derwent bag and put all of my essentials like my notebook and the paintbrushes and my paints, and it's even got a little quick pocket for your wallet, for example. Not that I would put it in there, especially in South Africa. Then those are all the Polaroid cameras that Skippy and I have collected over the years, and he helped me put up this camera tripod so that I can film all my art creations. It used to have a mobile part there, but it broke, so we actually placed a GoPro piece that could fit my camera there so that I could actually film everything. So it's quite nifty. I will do a separate video. And I've also got extra lighting as well, because lighting in this room is not that great because I still need curtains. So that just brightens it up a little bit. And I have a Montmartre drawing board that I usually use, especially to help me not lean over constantly. And I installed these into the wall. Not so great because it kind of made holes, but I've installed them so I can actually decorate. Then I've got all of my paintbrushes, my favorite ones. They're all different brands. A couple of them are just random brands, I'm not sure, but one of them is a Montmartre. that I really love. I've started using number 2 and number 4 of the Montmartre mop brushes. My absolute favorite one is this one by Princeton, Neptune, which is a size 4 mop brush. I have struggled to actually find these in the country. Next, I actually had to get this on Amazon. It is a Copic white paint that you can actually add to your artwork. As you can kind of see on some of my creations, I have kind of shininess, like on the bird's feet or the beak. They have to have a bit of a sheen. This is a little figurine my sister has always had, and I kind of commandeered it before she immigrated, so that watches over me as well. And I found this really, really cute pan for the water, and I usually mix my watercolors on it. I've also got all different types of pencils. This pen is my trusty pen. I only get the Pentel Energy Bell pen, as well as things like also Copic. I can't afford Copic markers, so I got a really cheap Superior Copic marker, or Superior marker. It is a 29 barley or beige, and that's just to let me help me with painting skin color. And that's, I've got like a spray. I sprayed on my watercolors that just dried up, or my gouache. The paper cutter I recently purchased because on most of my items that I want to sell, I actually need to have them like rounded corners. I found this really cute tin at a market fair, and it just keeps like safety pins in there, but it's really pretty. I've also got all these different pencils that I purchased, like Bic, Crayola, things like that. I hardly ever use them, but I mostly use my Montmartre coloring pencils and marker pens, glitter pens, gel pens, metallic pens, that sort of thing. I always use them in all of my different art pieces to add an extra flair, especially silver and gold. I really am struggling to find a really decent watercolor paint that can give me that sort of same effect as gold foil. The white marker is not so good as the Copic paint. And of course I have Nerds candy because I need to pick me up sometimes. What I have been using to paint is Sakura Koi. It's metallic and also the bright colors, but the same brand or the same company actually creates Superior as well. And these are all the different designs that I have so far. And that is my light pad that I usually trace, and also a board, so if I need to cut things then I don't damage my Montmartre drawing board that I already have because it's good wood. I also have a little donkey ornament that I gave my mom once, and I just put my wedding rings on there so it doesn't get dirty when I'm painting. I've also purchased a horse card game that I still have to play with my friend Abby. Don't know when that's gonna happen. I have filled inside my second drawer in my study just all of my Sakura Koi pens, as well as my Lyra brush pens. These are really nifty. They are water-soluble brush pens. The Lyra, I think, works better, in my opinion, than the Sakura, and they're actually cheaper. Works out cheaper buying the Lyra pens than the Sakura. I've also got a extension to charge my Apple Pencil when I am drawing. In the next shelf, I have all of my utensils that I use. So I have gold powder, which I can actually turn that pigment powder into watercolor paint. Haven't done that yet. It gets quite filthy, it gets everywhere. I've got everything that I possibly need. That transfer marker does not work, so I feel like it was a kind of a waste of money. But all the things that I have in here is just like erasers, a little tiny stapler that I don't know why I purchased, masking tape, and thank you stickers, which I still haven't used, as well as like sharpeners and some gold paint, which doesn't work as well as I wanted it to. So, but it's nifty enough to work for, you know, like gold foil. And I've also got a whole bunch of different paintbrushes, like spare paintbrushes, white charcoal pencils, things like that. Fine liner I used to use as well. And this is a universal glove that I use for my iPad, and then also a Yoko. So I have a Yoko Go, which basically is to make payments in South Africa. Don't know if they're going to be doing it overseas anytime soon. I know they've done it in Saudi Arabia, just not sure about everywhere else in the world. The next thing I have is all the stickers. So I have created these little stickers of my store, and this is where I store all of the stuff for packaging, and it's got backing boards and things like that to protect the artwork. So Sakura is made in the same manufacturing house as Superior, so they are literally one and the same paint, and it's far cheaper than Sakura Koi. But my ultimate tool that I use is my Lyra crayons. So these are aqua color Lyra crayons. They are so amazing to use. They are travel friendly. You can put them in your bag and travel with them, and they're compact, and also they last a really long time. What I usually do is I add water to my paintbrush, and then I just dabble it on the crayon itself, and it usually brings a crap ton of pigment out. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. It really helps me to get my business name out there. Stay tuned for the next video. See you then!